Hi everyone, this is Installment 5 in the software behind desktop publishing video tutorials. In this particular installment, we'll be talking about what to do with all of those graphics now that you have imported them all into your InDesign document. So go ahead, to get started, open up your InDesign software. I have the document that we just created with our imported graphics already up here. I'm going to show you how to enhance some of these and to make them look a little bit more snazzy. So to start off with, one of my favorites and one that I use frequently is basically adding a frame around your picture. And all that has to do with is adjusting your stroke level on your imported graphic frame. So go ahead and select your frame, not your picture, your frame. And if you come up here where you see, basically you'll see a number and then PT, and that's basically your point stroke value. Your stroke is the thickness of the line that's around your image or your shape or whatnot. It's the outline basically. So go ahead and bump that up to, well, however thick you want it. I'm going to make a pretty thick frame just for demonstration purposes, so I'm going to put mine at 10, just to show you a nice thick frame. So you can see, over here I'll pull it out so it's not on the lines, how this picture is now basically encased in this black outline here. So another helpful thing, just so you can see it better, is you can see it's not even selected and it has the line outlining the frame. You can turn that off by going to View, Extras, Hide Frame Edges. When you do that, you saw all these edges go away, and so they'll only pop up when you highlight over it or click on it, and so it's easier to kind of tell what your overall look is going to be. And so of course, if you're wanting to change the color on that stroke, you can go ahead and change it either by double clicking down here to open up your color swatch or your color chooser, and we'll go over that more in depth in the next tutorial. But for now, we'll just leave them at black. Another thing that you can do with your stroke is, instead of having a solid line, you can choose different effects. So I can create a wavy line around here if I want to, and that's the select box, the drop down box right under your where you selected your size for your stroke. Where mine's at 10p right now. It's just this bottom drop down box, and there's multiple different frames that you can add to give different effects to whatever you want. Another place you can pull up your strokes is over on the side here. I have it up, and it's, again, if you can't find it, you'll be able to find it under Windows here, and it's just your stroke box, and it's all the same as what's basically just sitting up here. It's just in a smaller or more condensed form that's mainly for just the stroke. You can change your the size of it, you can change the type, and so on and so forth. You can create all these different effects that will change how your document looks and ultimately give you what you're looking for in themed documents. Another thing that you can do is you can crop your pictures, which you saw a little bit in our last tutorial. You can crop your pictures by adjusting the shape of your frame. So I'm going to go ahead and readjust this frame that we had selected and made a funky shape. Okay. Go ahead and select these guys. Just going to drag them out. And my goal for this is I want to just get the yellow flower outline, basically. Okay. Alright, so you can see it's still kind of at a funky, awkward diagonal square. But you can change and alter how your photo that you have imported in there looks within that, which again will give you better effects in what you're working with. Another thing you can do is just overall just create a centered in frame. And the way you do that is you want to make your frame box much larger, and then you select your picture and center it within your frame box here. And use your guides to help you. Those little green things that are showing up. And now that it's centered in there, move this guy out of the way. I'm going to take my frame box and fill it with a color. Pick a random color on here. Alright, and then by doing that, you get a framed effect in here. And we'll go into filling colors and the colors of stroke lines in the next tutorial as well. But that's another way to really emphasize the pictures that you have imported, the graphics that you decided to put in here. So you can just play around with these tools here and create some really neat effects. It takes a while to get used to quite a few of them, and that's why I highly recommend just taking the time that's needed to really just play around with them, and then you'll get a tighter grasp on all the tools and layouts within InDesign. Alright, and that's it for this tutorial, and I will see you in the next and the last installment.